Well, we're back, and we thank you for joining us for the Tennessee Valley this morning. It's 6:49, and I'm Dan Howell, along with Ginger Gobble, my lovely co-host from Ginger Automotive.
Yeah.
That's an inside joke. It's Gobble Automotive, folks. But we're here with Jim Welch. It's good to have Jim back. Jim is with the Salvation Army, and he wears several hats over there, and we'll talk about a few of them. Jim was here once before, a few months ago. And a lot of things have happened since Jim was here, so we're going to start with, first of all, his current responsibilities at the Salvation Army. And you're an addiction counselor, and you've got a new program starting, and let's just start there.
Well, I'm an addictions counselor and a social service worker.
Okay.
And as far as the ministry to drug addicts and alcoholics, we're starting a new class in September. The first Thursday in September. It's going to be called Spirit Life Recovery.
Okay.
It's going to be at 7 o'clock at 437 Inman Street at our core building.
Okay, and how can people sign up for that or get more
They don't
information?
have to sign up. Just be there the first Thursday in September at 7 o'clock. Our number is 308-3467. They're welcome to call and ask me any questions they'd like to ask.
Just show up, and it's right next to Larry's Car Wash there on Inman Street.
Right.
And you'll see the sign, of course. It's there.
I also do a men's meeting called Band of Brothers. Right now it's on Thursdays at 7, but in the first week of September it's going to switch to Tuesday nights at 7. So we'll have a men's meeting on Tuesday nights at 7, and then a recovery meeting on Thursday nights at 7 called Spirit Life Recovery. And it's going to be different from any kind of recovery meeting you've ever been to. If you've ever had any type of addiction, have gone to any type of meetings, I'd love for you to come and try this out. You know, like that scripture says, taste and see the Lord is good. Come give it a try. I believe you're going to like it.
Yeah, and that's what time again?
7 o'clock Thursday nights. First Thursday in September.
Okay.
It'll be every Thursday night after that.
Starting the first Thursday in September,
Right.
so put that on your calendar. If you or someone you know may be in need of counseling, that will certainly benefit them, I'm sure. It's hot. People are struggling with this heat. We set another record yesterday. Salvation Army has a history of reaching out and touching people who have needs in all kinds of situations. And the weather is another example. You folks are collecting fans, I understand.
We're always collecting fans. There's a tremendous need for fans. I had a guy yesterday said, I live in a trailer on top of a hill with no trees around it. I have no air conditioning. My daughter has asthma, and I really need some fans. And I didn't have any over at the distribution center except the ones I had one I was using in my office, so I gave it to him. I actually had two in there, so I gave him one. And we have a tremendous need for fans. With this heat like this, elderly people, those with illnesses, there's so many kids out there that have asthma or different types of illnesses, and they really need those fans. I mean, it can be life or death. It's a life or death situation for some people.
Oh, it really is. There have been numerous deaths across the country, especially in the Southwest and Southeast from the heat.
And they can bring those fans to our office on 437 Inman Street next to Larry's Car Wash, or they can take them to Don Ledford automotive dealership, and that's a collection point.
Okay.
We're also having tomorrow at the Bradley Square Mall.
Okay.
There's a kids back to school program for school supplies.
Sure.
It's tomorrow. I believe it's at 11 a.m. on Saturday at the Bradley Square Mall.
Okay.
Mount Olive is partnershiping with, or Salvation Army's partnering with Mount Olive to do backpacks and school supplies for kids, especially those whose families were tornado victims.
And that's tomorrow at 11 o'clock if you want to help some disadvantaged children get the supplies they need to go back to school. So the fans are a great need, and just any kind of fan, the small tabletop oscillating fans, the box fans?
Mostly what we get are the box fans. I believe they're like a Galaxy Square box fan.
And you can put those in most windows and make them as an exhaust fan, and it pulls in cool air. Those work quite well in certain situations.
I've been using them myself at the Cleveland Bradley County Distribution Center, which I also manage. There's no air conditioning in the warehouse or the offices over there, so it's been a hot summer. So I usually wear shorts and flip-flops and a t-shirt over there to work in. And because I'm always having to unload things, work in the warehouse, then I intake all the customers or clients that come in there. But we have a tremendous need at the warehouse still also. I'd like to talk about that.
Okay, and of course the warehouse is located there on Barney Lane. Could they bring the fans there as well?
Yes, they could.
Okay.
I'd prefer them to take the fans to our office on Inman Street.
On Inman Street.
But they can and drop them off. We're only open now Monday through Friday, 9 to 1 on Barney's Lane.
Okay.
We thought we were going to be closing down end of July, but we were able to stay open, thank God. So as far as we know right now, we're going to be open indefinitely. But our focus has switched from helping just anyone with minor damage or power loss in the past month or so to we're only helping those who had major damage or whose houses were destroyed, which there's still hundreds of those.
Yeah, lots and lots.
And we are even having people now, we've been open there for like 3 months, since right after the tornadoes hit. And we're still having, I had 2 or 3 people this week come that had never came before. And I'm like, where have you been? If you know anybody, if you're watching this show and you had major damage or your house was destroyed and you've never been to the Cleveland Bradley County Distribution Center, it's at 2960 Barney's Lane at the intersection of 20th Street and Michigan Avenue. Please come. I want to help you. We've got stuff there that we can help you with. Everything from food, clothing, furniture,
household
shoes,
supplies.
Household items. We have
Cleaning supplies.
And we do have a lot of needs right now. I want to make a plea to those, anyone listening here, especially if you have a business or just an individual in the community. We don't have any laundry detergent, and people always need laundry detergent, and it's very expensive. We need laundry detergent. We need toilet paper. We'll take any furniture donations. We need furniture there. We need pet food. We're totally out of pet food. There's been a tremendous need for pet food for people, for their animals and all. Some people lost their animals and found them. I had a lady in yesterday that said it was her first time in. And she said, you know, it's just me and my cat. She said, thank God, she said, my house was destroyed, and I couldn't find my cat, but the next day I found her. And I said, well, thank God that you know, she was so joyful just that she had found her cat, even though her house was destroyed. And I've ran into so many people there. I talk to everybody that comes through there because I do the paperwork for them. And I've heard so many stories. I mean, there's so many, just about every person who's had a loss in their family has been through there, whose families were taken away in the tornadoes. And I've heard, you know, my heart goes out to all the families that were affected by this tornado, but we're there to help them.
And we're a long way from being done with the recovery. I mean, it's still a major problem.
I mean, there's I don't know how many people are still either living in apartments or hotel rooms, or, I mean, there was one couple that came back in this week. They've been living in a shed next to their house. They put a shed on their property and hooked up a generator to it and an air conditioner. And they were living in that shed, but they said this week they finally got back in their house. It got finished. I know a guy that's got 2 teenage kids. His wife died several years ago, and he's on disability. So he said FEMA wouldn't help him. And he's living in an old dilapidated 2-bedroom trailer with 1 bathroom with his 2 teenagers. And he needs, there's so many people out there like that need help. But it's such a joy to be able to help them in at least the capacity we can at the distribution center to meet their basic needs. And it puts a smile on our face. We've given away hundreds of mattresses, furniture, couches, all that, clothing, food, supplies, you know, you name it. We've got it set up kind of like a grocery store on one side and like a thrift store on the other side. And I'd like to invite the public to come see me there. If you want to see what's going on, if you want to be a part of it, we need volunteers desperately. We've had thousands of volunteers come through there. We've had youth groups from New Jersey and all over the nation come and help volunteer over the summer, but now all the kids are going back to school. I'm down to about 3 or 4 volunteers now to help me with that warehouse. But we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 1, and we desperately need your help. We'd love to have you volunteer. We'd love to have you make donations. We don't need any clothing, but we can use anything you've got except clothing. We've given away tons of Christmas decorations. When we got, I said, why would people? I said, no, these people want them. The ladies there told me, we're going to put these decorations out, and we made a nice display area, and people have been getting them like crazy. And I'm like, well, thank God, they like, you know.
Still have the Christmas
They love
spirit.
getting house decorations because they've lost everything. It's been amazing over there. I mean, it blows my mind every day.
Well, as I said, we're a long way from being done with the recovery effort. Of course, the Long-Term Recovery Organization, Jim Polier is leading that, and they're located in the United Way office building. And then Lisa Mantooth, the case management supervisor, and they're looking for volunteers, case managers, and they're going to be working with some of these very people that you mentioned. helping them get back on their feet, to rebuild, remodel, whatever their needs are. And so it's a joint effort, and as you help supply the things that go inside the house, and the food and the clothing and things like that, then the long-term recovery organization is trying to help them with their actual structure and get back into good living conditions. And you guys are doing a great job. Salvation Army always steps up, don't they?
Yes, they do.
They really do. And
try.
Yeah, we appreciate what you guys do here. And I just have to say, my friend Ruthie Forgey, of course, what's her title? She's the director, but there's a specific title.
She's the sergeant over this corps.
Over
here.
this corps.
She's over Cleveland.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. She's a great lady.
Since she
Awesome
has
woman.
taken the reins of the Salvation Army locally, it seems like it's just blossomed.
Well, there wasn't a Salvation
Yeah.
Army locally.
And
she just started this. It's
Yeah.
an amazing story.
Yeah, I know.
She hired on there to handle the bell ringers 2 Christmases ago. They hired her to be over the bell ringers in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, we want to start a corps in Cleveland, Ruthie, and we feel like you're the lady to do it. And I mean, it's amazing.
It is
when
amazing.
I came to work here last September, we had no building. I was going to work at the thrift store in the office there and just kind of working out of there.
Yeah.
There was just a few of us, and then they got the building remodeled on Inman Street, and it's just grown like crazy. It's a move of God. There's nothing that we've done.
Yeah.
We just do whatever God leads us to do. And then the tornadoes hit, and it's been amazing. The volunteers that have come in there, and just what the few of us, along with all the volunteers and all the community of Cleveland, have been able to do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's been amazing.
Ruthie's done a great job leading that organization. She and her staff have been an integral part of the recovery and the initial response as well. A tremendous effort on their part, and we appreciate all you're doing. If you need a volunteer, and they do need volunteers, if you'd like to volunteer, contact the Salvation Army there on Inman Street, or you can contact Jim out at the distribution center, and they've got many things for you to do. And if you'd like to donate some supplies, talk to them, and Jim can tell you exactly what they need.
Yeah, the phone number you need to call is 308-3467. Our main office number at Inman Street, because there's no phones anymore at the distribution center.
Okay.
But they can call my cell phone. My cell phone is a Savannah number, but it's 912-266-1924.
Okay.
And I'll take your calls anytime.
Okay.
We also have youth groups. We just took
know.
a youth group. I went on an awesome camping trip to North Carolina with 11 youth over this past weekend. We have a youth pastor and his wife there, and we're about to open up the coffee shop any time now. Everything's set for it. We've got a lot of things going on. We have women's ministries going on. We have children's ministries. We work, we do a lot of different things in the community.
Yeah, there is a lot going on, as you say. We have to take a break, Jim, but we appreciate you coming by and sharing with us what the Salvation Army is doing and what your needs are at the distribution center.
I appreciate you having me, Dan.
Hope you'll come back and give us another update soon. Don't wait so long next time.
Hey, I'm ready anytime.
Okay. Jim Welch from Salvation Army. We'll be back in just a moment. It's 7:02 and 73 degrees. Headline news coming up, and we're going to talk about the Home Run Derby just ahead. Don't go away.